In the past couple of weeks, this whole thing with the coronavirus has like exploded. It's exploded and, schools getting shut down, people being told to stay home, and just increase what seems like panic and a little bit of hysteria that's going on as well. And while I'm not trying to discount the fact that this is something that's serious, that it's something that is highly contagious, I do also want to point out one thing that I feel like has been left out of a lot of the discussions is how you can boost your immune system from the inside out. We know that things like the cold and flu, there is no actual cure for it. Anything that you take is just mainly going to help reduce some of your symptoms, but there are ways that you can boost your immunity from the things that you eat. First thing is actually probiotics. A lot of things are being linked back to our gut, and our gut health is being linked to immunity and to like depression and other things like that. And even though we really don't think about the bacteria in our gut having a lot of effect on our lives, studies are increasingly showing that that is a true story. So with the probiotics, they help to increase the good bacteria in the gut that helps to improve your immunity and also helps to reduce the bad bacteria that can cause illness and inflammation. A lot of times, and I know, if you're kind of really up and up on some of the health stuff, you hear that like being more alkaline, being a little bit less acidic, and having less inflammation in your body will also lead to you being a healthier person. With inflammation typically comes disease. So you definitely want to make sure that you check with your doctor before you do any sort of probiotics, because there are medications and things like that where it can be detrimental and actually lower your immunity. So things that, and I'm going to give you solutions that actually have foods. I don't want you like taking a whole bunch of supplements, because a lot of those supplements are going to be synthetic. So I want you to go about this in the way of food so that you're literally nourishing your body and all of this other good stuff. So when we're talking about probiotics, we want it to be anywhere between 10 and 15 billion, and that's enough for immunity. Of course, you can go higher, but again, everything depends on the person, and that's like a really good happy space. Some of the foods that you can consume that are good in probiotics would be yogurt, kombucha, kimchi, sauerkraut, things of that nature. For me, I'm going with the yogurt, and my multivitamin actually has probiotics and prebiotics in it. I take Garden of Life, which is a whole food multivitamin, and it is fabulous. So the next thing is going to be zinc. Zinc is the body's your body's immune system needs zinc to defend it against invading bacteria and viruses. You've heard of probably like the zinc lozenges and the zinc syrup. And if you consume that within 24 hours of getting symptoms of a cold, it can greatly reduce your length of your cold, or you just kind of like, it just X's out and leaves altogether because it's just like, oh my God, zinc is here and I gotta go. So zinc is really beneficial. We get zinc in a lot of things that we might not even really realize. Lean meats, turkey, chicken, duck, shellfish are really high in zinc, as well as things like milk, whole grains, beans, nuts, and seeds. The next one is actually protein. Protein is really big with the immune system because your immune system cells rely on protein to fight off viral and bacterial infections. And there have been a lot of studies that show a link between low protein diets and reduced immune system. So, we can poo-poo on protein and all of that stuff, but it is absolutely something that your body needs. Now, we know the obvious, of course, meats and blah, 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 that's going to give you protein. But there's also things like lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, chia seeds, hemp hearts, and a variety of dark leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, and stuff like that are also high in protein. However, you do have to consume a lot of those vegetables in order to get any sort of substantial amount of protein. So you would need to get at least 2 cups of those vegetables. To give you an example, 2 cups of broccoli chopped is only 5 grams of protein, which is great when you add it in with some of those other vegetables. You can easily have a salad that like knocks it out at 23 grams of protein, if not more. Okay. Next one is vitamin A. It's one of the most important nutrients. Yeah, even more than vitamin C. Most important nutrients for a healthy immune system. Vitamin A is part of the development of the immune system in the first place and has been proven effective in the treatment of a variety of infectious diseases. Ways that you can increase your vitamin A: sweet potatoes, carrots, kale, spinach, red peppers, apricots, egg yolks. If you choose to do eggs, make sure that they're pastured and organic for your best health. But you also need to make sure that you're not getting in too much vitamin A, and you'll know that if you start to get headaches, nausea, or dizziness. Okay. Next one, and the one that everybody thinks about when we talk about immunity, is vitamin C. So, vitamin C, of course, is the first one that comes to mind. It promotes formations of antibodies that bind and destroy toxins, bacteria, and viruses in our body that before they can even cause us damage. So, I know we think about oranges, and quite frankly, I can't do oranges or even grapefruit because I have a citrus sensitivity to like citrus acids. But of course, citrus fruits are high in vitamin C, as well as strawberries, papaya, all different colored bell peppers, tomatoes, cantaloupe, kale, broccoli, and cauliflower. Again, don't go overboard when it comes to vitamin C. You'll know you do if you get the cha-cha-chas, which I also like to call diarrhea, nausea, and stomach cramps. Next one is vitamin E. E. Vitamin E enhances your immune system, and it also helps to fight a number of infectious diseases. Ways that you can get increased amounts of vitamin E: whole grains, sunflower seeds, nuts, leafy vegetables such as spinach, chard, butternut squash, avocado, trout, as well as shrimp. Another thing, intermittent fasting. There have been multiple studies that have shown that when you actually take a break from eating, that it can start to cause your body to have an increase in white blood cells, which are and reset your immune system. There has been a study from 6 years ago where they actually saw that if you fasted for 3 days, 72 hours, something I'm not interested in doing, but if you are, it will absolutely reset your immune system. However, there have been more recent studies within the past 2 years that have shown that even shorter fasts, like 12 and 16-hour fasts, especially that 16-hour window, is really beneficial in helping to boost your immune system. Some other things that you can consider and that will also be helpful for you: blueberries, green tea, mushrooms, especially mushrooms like shiitake, reishi, oyster, lion's mane. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, bok choy, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Getting in elderberry. I know the elderberry game has like blown up. I get dried elderberries and I make my own syrup, and you can definitely find people who make it locally. But the elderberry that's science right there for cutting off cold and flu. I take it just on a daily basis, just as a preventative. But then when I get hit with something, I'm in there and it cuts everything quickly. Like if I have a sore throat, start up my elderberry, it's gone the next day and then I have no issues. So definitely peep the elderberry. Ginger, vitamin D, which you can get from fatty fish, cheese, egg yolks, and mushrooms. Getting in garlic, raw honey, turmeric, cayenne pepper, cinnamon, foods with soluble fiber, things like beans, oats, bran, apples, and also other citrus foods. And then one of my new favorites, liquid chlorophyll. I've been taking that for about the past month, and I don't know what it's doing, like for real, other than turning my poop green. But it supposedly has some really great things that help with the prevention of cancerous cells, as well as just boosting your immunity. I feel great, and even as some folks are just like before the coronavirus, just getting sick around me, I'm standing strong, y'all. Standing strong. And then you also want to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water because it helps to keep your mucus lining moist, which is also helpful in preventing any sort of virus or illnesses, and making sure that you exercise. Not going like cray cray. You don't need to do 2 a days. You don't even need to do an hour, but just making sure that you move your body. So the last thing I want to mention about this whole thing is that let me tell you what will absolutely help no one and no thing, nothing, is stress. So when you panic and you get all like freaked out and stressed out about everything that's coming out with the news, I personally don't watch the news, haven't watched the news in years. But one thing that will absolutely happen is that it will increase your stress levels, and that will absolutely increase, or actually decrease, your immunity. Fear equals stress equals a lower immune system. So make sure that you just take some time, right? Step away from this stuff. You know you need to wash your hands. You know you need to stay home if you're sick. You know you need to avoid folks who are sick. And then outside of that, tackle some of the things I'm talking about. Eat fruits and vegetables. Like, do the stuff we should have been doing a long time ago to help boost our immune system. Be safe. Wash your hands, and definitely boost up your immune system. Okay. So definitely share this with someone who's trying to figure out what can they do other than doomsday prep and buy up a whole bunch of toilet tissue. See you later.